Hello everyone, welcome to Wisdomera online classes. Now we shall study air and water chapter for grade 3 and topic air in a beginning session by observing a picture. Here in this picture, what a girl is doing? Yes, a girl is blowing air in a balloon. Air is all around us, but we cannot see it. Yes, my dears, everywhere, wherever we are walking or wherever we are going, air is all around us, but we cannot see it. The girl, what she is doing is she is blowing air in the balloon, but the size of the balloon grows. We cannot see the air inside. Yes, my dears, they have given that itself. You can see the balloon growing in the size, but you will not be able to see the air inside. Similar experiment you too can do in your home by taking a balloon and blowing air in it. What happens is the balloon size get increased, but we cannot see the air. Moving air is called wind. Gently moving air is called breeze. Yes, my dears, moving air is called wind, but gently moving air is called breeze. Moving air is called wind and gently moving wind is called breeze. Yes, my dears, we have learned what is wind and breeze. Now, moving wind is called as storm. Moving wind is called as storm. Now, we have learned what is wind, what is breeze and what is storm. Yes, my dears, moving air is called wind, gently moving air is called breeze, moving wind is called storm. Yes, my dears, we have learnt air is all around us. But what does this air contain? Before going to learn what does air contains, just observe by doing an experiment in your home itself. Take a glass of water, keep it in a refrigerator. After some times, it gets cooled. You just take that glass from the refrigerator and place it on the table. What happens after some times for that glass is the water droplets are appearing on the glass. But where does this water come from? Yes, this water didn't leak through the glass. We have kept the perfect glass in the refrigerator. But where does this water come from? Yes, it had came from the air. Air contains water in the form of water vapor. Air contains water in the form of water vapor. And air contains important gases too, like oxygen and carbon dioxide, where there is many use of this gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. That is, water vapor is also present in air, we have learnt, but oxygen is very essential thing so that human beings breathe with the help of oxygen, where oxygen is the important gas for human beings to breathe. Air may also contain dust particles and even germs. Air may also contain some dust particles and germs, so that it is necessary and must and we should wash our hands before we eat something, so that any dust or germs will not enter our stomach and make our health upset. Yes, my dears, I hope all my dear children will wash their hands before eating and after eating the food, where it is a good manner of all the children. Next, water. Water is the very important for life on earth. Water is the very important life for earth. All living things need water. All living things need water. In our first class, we have learned that water is Food and water are the important characteristics of living organism. It means that food and water are taken by only living organisms but not by non-living organisms. Why living things need water is like for washing, for cleaning, for bathing and for many other purposes. Yes, my dears, just note down in your book that what are all the uses that you are going to make use of water in your daily life. Yes, my dears, this is all about your basic concept about water, and I hope you will all make it down a note of your daily uses of water in your book. Now we shall study an interesting topic, that is states of water. States of water, it exists in three main states. Water exists in three main states, that is solid, liquid and gas, where solid, liquid and gas are the three states of matter that we shall study now. Yes, my dear, solid. Just take a glass of water which is in the liquid form and just place it in the freezer, so that what happens is you will get the solid form of water, that is ice. After getting the ice, you just keep it in a sun or just heat it. What happens is, I am not telling you to boil, but I am telling you to heat. You get the liquid. Whenever you boil that liquid, you get the vapor, that is three states of water. Almost 3/4 of our earth's surface is covered by water. It means that take one roti, cut it into 4 equal halves, so that 3 halves of that roti is equal to water level contained in our earth. Sea water is salty, but of rivers and lakes is not and can be used. Where sea water is salty, we have very clear differentiation between salt water and sea water, and we all know that salt water is not suitable to do any works with that water, but sweet water we can use that to make any works. Yes, my dears, here is a new concept, that is what happens to the water when wet cloths dry in the sun. You just wash your clothes and kept them to dry. What happens to that water in the cloths? Just write it down in your book and show it to me. Yes, when the sun shines, the water present in the wet cloths get heated and changes into water vapor. We have discussed before in the states of water that if whenever we start boiling the water, water is evaporated into vapor. So that this process is called evaporation. This water evaporates into air as water vapor. Later on, they again come to the ground and they are in the form of water, that is in the form of clouds. Clouds are formed when water vapor mixes with the dust and other things present in the air. This is called as condensation. We have learnt what is evaporation. Evaporation is the process by which water is getting evaporated in the form of water vapor. But condensation is the process where clouds are formed when water vapor mixes with dust and other things present in the air. When water drops in the clouds are too heavy to remain in the air, they fall down as the rain. Here we have got how does the rain comes. It is because whenever water condensation is occurring in the air, if it is very heavy, so that the water vapor which is present in the air, it comes to the ground in the form of rain. If a place is very cold, the water vapor does not form drops. It freezes into ice and comes down as snow. Yes, my dears, we know that in Himalayan ranges we cannot see the water vapors or water droplets, but these water droplets, whichever are falling down, are in the form of snow. Then the rainwater or a snow runs back to fill the river, ponds, and lake. And again, the same cycle continues where the water is coming down, it fills the lakes and ponds, and again, water is getting evaporated. It again forms the clouds in the process called condensation. And again, whenever a cloud is heavy, it falls down in the form of water, and finally it fills the rivers and the form of, again the water gets evaporated. Finally this process is going to continue. But what does this process is called as is this process of getting evaporated, forming condensation, again falling rain, again filling the rivers and lakes, again getting evaporated. This cycle is called as water cycle. This cycle is called as water cycle. Yes, my dears, what does water cycle includes is water gets heated by the sun and goes up as water vapor, where this is the first step of water cycle. Next, what happens is water vapors forms clouds in the sky. Water vapors forms the clouds in the sky, where it is known as condensation. Clouds cannot hold big drops of water. These water drops come down as rain. This water comes down as rain. The next thing is rainwater run back to fill the rivers and lakes. Rainwater runs back to fill the rivers and rains. Again, the process of getting heated by the sun and goes up as water vapor, that is evaporation, condensation. Again